baik tu dia jadi mereka tahu रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
Yana Vinaka Fiji leading our bulletin this morning. I'm here to stay, says Rumbuka. Decreased investment in construction and landowners consent to Singatoga mine.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Social Democratic Liberal Party leader Sitiveni Rumbuka seems to have switched sides in the party factions. Rumbuka has told FBC News that he will work with the new management to move the party forward after having boycotted the management board meeting on Saturday. The party leader has changed his tune, saying that SODELPA now has to start raising issues which concern voters. This is a stark difference from the Rumbuka who was at loggerheads with executives trying to get SODELPA out of suspension over the weekend.
We can now concentrate on preparing for the debate where we will again put forward the voice of the people that voted for us. It is a new board. They are bringing in new views. Whether they will have the same confidence in the members of the caucus. So I will have to get a fresh mandate from caucus to continue as a parliamentary leader.
A ruling will be made next week on an application for a court injunction against the termination of 280 staff of the air terminal services and the publication of vacancies. Both parties were called before Justice Mohammed Javad Mansour at the Employment Relations Tribunal in Lautoka yesterday. The lawyer representing the ex-workers, Naveen Padarath, says the termination on June 19th was unlawful and has filed for an injunction on it. ATS lawyer Devanesh Sharma told the tribunal there was no evidence that any collective agreement was terminated. The International Labour Organization's recent assessment on the impact of COVID-19 demonstrates that the consequences of the pandemic are serious. ILO Director for Pacific Island countries, Martin Karimli, says the survey shows how many people have been affected by COVID-19 and the percentage of people that have transited to various forms of employment. He says the report shows a dire situation.
Previously, ILO was forecasting about 305 million job losses in the second quarter, but now it's 400 million. So it's a 14% drop in the global working hours in the second quarter. So this demonstrates how serious the situation is. So of course there are various serious for the rest of the year, but as my colleagues have mentioned, there is no clarity how the situation will develop.
Businesses are now facing an increasing number of challenges due to the pandemic that needs to be addressed, and the construction sector is no exception. The building industry is contemplating what will transpire and looking at ways to avoid major delays in their projects. Construction Industry Council President Gordon Jenkins says the investor confidence might get severely affected due to the impact of the deadly virus. Jenkins says they had ongoing work which has carried them through past few months. However, the future looks a bit bleak.
I think a lot of people are a bit, a developer is a little bit nervous about making commitments or anything until such time as there's an all clear.
The Matangali Lewe Nandronga of Vunavutu village in Nandronga have finally agreed to the proposed mining exploration at their piece of land situated near the Singatoga River mouth. Landowning unit member Lanieta Mburasia says this has been a long-standing issue for the past few years, as she claims that they weren't consulted about this development activity by Magma Mines. She adds the piece of land is considered sacred as well for the Matangali members. However, careful site selection and proper environmental protocol will strictly be followed as per the outcome of the consultations with environment officers.
We kept on saying that no, we disagree. But only last month, then we came to realize that we have to say yes, because this is a time of development anywhere in the world. It's a time, and the time is timely. for us to say yes.
The Fiji Ships and Heavy Industries Limited has reached out to help the maritime sector of the Marshall Islands and generate income for the company. 80% of the transport sector in the Marshalls is unoperational due to COVID-19. And operations manager Lopeti Randravu says the initiative will benefit both parties. Randravu says they met with the Marshall Islands ambassador to Fiji yesterday as part of the Blue Economy Recovery Strategy on the way forward. They are also in talks with other embassies of regional countries that are COVID-19 free on how they can be part of the Bulla bubble.
When we met them yesterday, and we highlight to them the way we can be able to assist their nations in terms of transportation for the ship repair. In fact, he highlighted to us that at the moment, 80% of their transportation is down, which means only 20% is operational. So what we have done now, we try to liaise with the vessel owners so that we can be able to find a way they can be able to come over to Fiji, because Fiji is the main port of ship repair and ship refit for the Marshall Islands.
And Skipper Cup next for 7 Stars.
Pula natango aproslan garse ngor kraki do televizio na varong na radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti.
Fiji still has a chance to be the top seed for next year's Olympic Games despite finishing third on the 2019-2020 World 7 Series after the cancellation of the remaining rounds due to COVID-19. The Fiji Rugby Union believes the hard work has to start now before we get the #1 ranking for the Olympics. Aquila Dharma with the details.
The national sevens team will need to tick all the boxes before we get to the Olympics next year as the #1 team.
But we are grateful that in terms of the Olympic qualification, the standing in terms of the Olympics will also be decided about taking into consideration the placings in 2021, 2020-2021. So there's a window of opportunity for us.
Most of these players earn a living through rugby, and that's one of the reasons the FRU will keep them contracted despite the series cancellation.
You know, player welfare is the paramount for us, and we want to put in place processes to ensure that they continue being under contract until Olympics next year, just to motivate them.
Head coach Gareth Baber says the current squad will need to prove themselves as some new players can be signed up as well.
There's lots of Fijians that are going to be chasing those positions, and that's the competition level that I want to see. It keeps people honest, and the reality is that there's only going to be few spots that we can't contract everybody, and I expect to my staff and myself to work hard to ensure that we've got the right people on those contracts.
The only option for our 7 Stars to play competitive rugby now is the Skipper Cup, and most of them are training with respective provincial teams. Aquila Dharma, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Premier League match between Ba and Suva, scheduled for next Sunday, has been moved to August 1st. The other remaining matches for the Men in Black will face Lautoka at Churchill Park on the 15th of July, Nasino on the 18th and Lambasa on the 25th. Fiji Football Association Chief Executive Mohammed Yusuf says this will give the Ba team time to catch up with the rest of the teams in the season.
Fixtures have been rescheduled to allow Ba to play matches weekend and midweek. 15th is Ba Navua, 15th is Ba Lautoka, 18th is Ba Nasino, 22nd is Ba Nandi, 25th is Ba Lambasa.
Taking a quick look at the weather for today, cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorms over Vanuatu, Taveuni and Northern Lao Group. Showers gradually clearing later tonight, and there'll be cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern and interior parts of the other larger islands, Lomaiviti and the Southern Lao Group. And that is your FBC Morning News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about the COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about the coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital media news. www.fbcnews.com.fj. Keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
Bula, gue minuni mereka yang untuk teletak di Borong 6 FM, namun 2 NSR.
Bula FM, nambah 2 NSR.